Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Oh, hello. Okay, not nice person. Just die! Hey guys, Wolf of the Dark here, and as you can see by the title, I am playing some more Minecraft. This is actually a bending server, and what that means, in case you don't know, is I can control the elements, or whichever element I've chosen. So I'm actually an airbender, so that's pretty cool. I think it's my favorite, to be honest, even though it's probably the weakest, but whatever, I deal with it, even if everybody kills me. But anyways, I'll see you later on in the video. Whoa, okay, so I'm in the arena now, and it's really cloudy. Okay, so I'm just gonna hop down. Stay away from that guy, because he killed me earlier on. Okay, I'm scared of him. Anyways, so on the server you can basically control the elements. So like I said, I'm an airbender, so I can control air, basically just as it sounds. So first I'm going to show you air spout. It's where you can fly in the air. Pretty cool, except it is very slow, so just be warned. Next is air blast. You can shoot a burst of air out in front of you, and that's pretty helpful to keep enemies away. And then you can also sneak until you see this smoke, and then you can click anywhere and it will fire in that direction. So this can also be useful as like a super jump, so you can hold the sneak underneath you and then just click in the air and you'll fly up really high. Actually, air punch, you can basically, it's like air blast, except I think it deals damage or not, I'm not so sure. And yeah, basically it's like air blast, really. And then there's air suction. So basically it's again like air blast, except basically the reverse. So what you can do is you click and whatever you're aiming at will basically fly at you. So if I were to break the grass, or something like that, and the item were there, I could use air suction and pull it towards me. A really good use for this is you can also hold it and then click somewhere, and wherever you click will be pulled to that area you sneaked at. Really helpful for bringing enemies over to you when you need to get close up and start doing some melee damage. Next is air bubble. Air bubble acts as kind of a utility tool where if you sneak, any water around you will basically kind of disperse, and everywhere you walk, a bubble of air will surround you. So this is really helpful if you're fighting off a waterbender or something like that. You can get rid of the water source nearby. So that can be really helpful. And also if you want to travel a distance with water and you're an airbender, so you can just do this and you won't have to worry about drowning or anything like that. Next is Suffocate. It is really, really dangerous. It's kind of one of the most powerful moves of an airbender. So what it does is when you sneak whilst looking at an entity or an enemy, they will be surrounded by a ball of air and they'll slowly suffocate. Okay, so here you can see that if I just crouch whilst looking at the enemy, it'll surround him with air and he can't breathe. And it's really, really effective, and it can really do some damage. if they are unable to move. So if you're teamed up with a chi blocker and they paralyze them, you can then just suffocate them and they'll just slowly die, which is really, really helpful. Now for the next move. This move is air swipe. It's another offensive move. So basically, when you click, it'll shoot out a swipe of air that will damage any enemies. It won't do that much damage, but if you sneak and then charge it up, letting it go will cause it to basically cause a lot more damage. So that's really helpful. Next is Tornado. So this is pretty cool. I like it a lot. So what you can do is wherever you look at and then you shift, a tornado will basically form. And you can also use this as kind of a faster version of Air Spout. So as you can see, it takes a bit of practice, so you might have to try and use it a couple of times before using it in an arena or a battle or something. And then finally, for what I have on my moves is Air Shield. So what you can do with Air Shield is you sneak and a ball of air will surround you and it will allow you to protect yourself from most basic bending moves. So things like Fire Blast can't get past the shield. And it also pushes back any melee attackers, which is really, really useful. And you should always have it in your hotbar. Now I will be telling you about the cons of these different moves. So like I said, Air Spout is really efficient for getting around, but it is very slow as well. So sometimes it can be really irritating to try and use Air Spout to get around. So that's one of the cons of Air Spout. Air Blast, something bad about it is it doesn't do damage and it only pushes away enemies. So I guess it is good as a utility tool, but it's not very helpful. Air Punch, I feel like, is bad because it only deals with a small amount of area, so it shoots out in one small area instead of a big area like Air Swipe. Air Suction, I think it's just kind of difficult to control and get used to because it is really strange at first and it does take a bit of practice. Then Air Bubble, it's not really good because of the fact that you have to be sneaking to use this utility tool. Even though it is really helpful, it's just really annoying having to always sneak and it's really slow. Suffocate, I think Suffocate is bad because if the enemy moves away, then they will easily get out of the ability and you can't get them back in it. And also benders can bend at you, and if you get hit by anything or damaged by anything, it will deactivate and they will be able to get out and attack you back. Air Swipe, I think, is really helpful and a really good offensive move, except it doesn't do too much damage, which I think is kind of annoying, because though it can keep enemies back and injure them quite a bit, it is very weak, but I guess that's the same for most airbender moves. They're more utility moves and defensive. Tornado is like Air Suction. It's kind of difficult to get hold of and difficult to get used to, so it takes quite a bit of practice for that, but otherwise I think it's a really great move. Then Air Shield, it's kind of annoying how it doesn't really keep up, it doesn't really defend you from any major attacks, so it's really just the first basic moves of each element that it can block off. But other than that, you can easily be attacked by someone, even if you have the air shield on. In all, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. The IP will be in the description, so if you want to play on it with me, I would be glad to. Also, if you want me to review the other elements and give you my opinion on those, I would be glad to do that as well. Until then, guys, I'll see you later. Subscribe and smack that like button like you mean it. I'll see you in the next video.